Hello children, today we are going to discuss about the second chapter of chemistry, that is changes around us, that is in case of world as well as in around us. So we must be knowing that the changes are taking place in a variety of manners, because if you see that seedling growing into a plant into a tree, and then they are taking at many places. Even the changes are taking place as natural as well as changes with man-made. So whatever activities we do, we find it or make it something new, right? For example, if I break this piece of a chalk, you will feel that there is some change in the size of the chalk piece. So here we can say that changes can be defined as the alteration in the physical or chemical properties of a substance or matter which give it a new shape and size, right? We get a new shape and size of the chalk, or some, in case of the chemical changes, the properties of the substances changes. So we can say that the changes are essential sometimes. For example, ripening of the fruit, it is required by, so we need a desire, it is a desired change. So how we are going to classify the changes? So there are different classification of changes here. Changes. So we are going to classify various types of changes. First one is natural change. Now here we talk about the changes which are taking with the help of nature. For example, change in the climate, right? Change in the climate, change in weather pattern, whereas change in the seasons, change in day and night, these are the changes which are brought up by the nature. Then we have got a change which are called as man-made changes. Man-made changes, here variety of changes you can see in this case. Man-made changes, for example, construction of building. God, nature is not constructing any building for us. We are construction of building, which brings a change in the surrounding as well as change in the environment. Then even cooking of food is also a man-made change. We get even writing a book, making a paper. All these changes we call them as changes made by human beings. Now, another change which we find it that some of the changes which nature has does, they are having a periodic terms. That is, the third type is periodic and non-periodic changes. Periodic and non-periodic changes. So, what is the meaning of these periodic changes? So, in case of periodic changes, the things are repeating at a certain fixed interval of time. For example, occurrence of day and night, occurrence of different seasons. After completion of particular tenure, then only one season changes to another season. So we can say that these changes are periodic, whereas non-periodic changes means the changes which take place suddenly. We call them as a non-periodic change. For example, breaking off a glass piece. When you are taking a glass vase and carrying it to some place, suddenly it falls. We can say that it is a non-periodic change. Then we have got a tearing of pages, breaking of chalk piece. These are the non-periodic changes which can take place at any time. They don't have any fixed time interval of time, right? Then we have got the desirable and non-desirable changes. What is the meaning of these terms? Desirable and non-desirable. Desirable and non-desirable changes. Desirable changes. Desirable means the changes which we want, which we need to take place. For example, ripening of fruit, growing of a human child into an adult, then cooking of a food. These changes we need that they should take place. Otherwise, they will come under non-desirable. So we want those changes to take place, that's why they are classified as a desirable changes, whereas non-desirable changes are those changes which we don't want, we are not interested. For example, spoiling of a food stuff, we don't want that our food stuff should get spoiled, or we don't want that the breaking of glass should take place. So these changes are said to be undesirable changes. Now, next classification of changes are slow changes and fast changes. Slow changes and fast changes. Here we say that slow changes means, for the example for slow changes is that rusting of iron, growing of a seedling into a tree, right? These changes, they take a lot of time to complete, whereas when we talk about the fast changes, for example burning of a matchstick, it doesn't take much time, it immediately catches fire. And then burning of a paper, these changes, they are taking very less time to occur. Then we have got a next classification where changes can be classified into reversible change and non or you can say irreversible changes. Irreversible irreversible changes. Here, reversible changes are those changes which can be reversed, right? Reversible changes, a change which can be brought into its original form is called as reversible change. That is, the example for this is the water getting converted into ice, water getting converted into ice, ice again when water is heated, water when it is heated, when it is heated, it gets it gets converted into vapor, gets converted into vapors. So all these three states of water can be reversed. We can say that ice can be converted into water, then water can be converted normal liquid water, then water can be converted into vapors. Again, when we cool the temperature, vapors get converted into liquid water. Then again, if you further decrease the temperature, the liquid water gets converted into ice. So these changes are considered to be a reversible change. Other substances which we can say that they are reversible, for example, if I take a substance called ammonium chloride, NH4Cl2. So what we find that ammonium chloride, it is having a sublimating property. Sublimation, what is the meaning of this? It gets directly converted from solid form to vapor form. So if these vapors are covered, or we can say that if they are conducted in a controlled condition, these vapors can be again condensed into a solid ammonium chloride. So in case of the sublimable things, for example naphthalene balls, odonil, air Godrej air packs, these they get sublimized, that is they get directly converted from solid form to the gaseous form. So these type of changes are also reversible to a certain extent. In certain cases, means if the experiment, if the test is conducted in a controlled condition means all the situations are in our control, then only we can reverse it. Otherwise, when this gas is getting when this is getting sublimized, we cannot take it back if we are not doing the reaction in a controlled manner. Other next one is irreversible changes. Irreversible changes, the change which cannot be brought back into its original condition is known as irreversible changes. For example, burning of paper. Now, if we burn the paper, we get a new substance. Burning of paper brings us new substances. For example, we get ash and CO2, so we cannot bring that paper back into these ash and CO2 carbon dioxide into paper once again. So these changes, they are considered as irreversible changes. Other examples for the irreversible changes are storing of milk, breaking of glass tumbler, then germination of seed, cooking of food. These changes we can, once the food is cooked, we cannot get it ripe, once again ripe one raw material. Once it is cooked means finished. So these changes are called as irreversible changes. Now, next classification of the changes are, we are going to talk about physical changes and chemical changes. Physical changes and chemical changes. Chemical changes. See children. Now, if you look at this chalk, what I am doing, I am just breaking this. What type of change can you tell about this? This is a physical change where no new substance is obtained. We are getting the chalk, two pieces of chalk only. So, the physical change is the change where the substance is undergoing a change without any destruction. That means we are not destructing it into a different substance. We are getting the same material. Here, we are not getting any new element or new substance. We are having only chalk in our hand, nothing else here. So, only there, either I can change the shape of this, size of this, or I can change the color of this chalk. So, those changes where no new substance is formed, or these changes, if I use a sellotape for this, I can again paste it, and again the same size chalk I will be having in my hand. So, the changes where no new substance is formed are called as physical changes. For example, the physical changes, conversion of ice into water is also an example of physical change, which where after some times when the temperature is cooled, again the water can be converted into ice. So we can say that the changes which do not lead into the formation of a new product or new substance, they are considered as a physical change, whereas in case of a chemical change, we get a new product or new substance is obtained. So new substance is formed in case of chemical changes, where we are having properties of, I take this one, I take a paper, piece of a paper and burn it, you will find that the ash which is obtained is having totally different property than the property which is the paper was having in earlier case without before burning. So before the change has taken place and after the change has taken place, the properties of the substances changes. Then the original property of the substance disappears after the chemical change takes place. Now this change we cannot reverse. In case of a chemical change, it is a irreversible change where we cannot bring it the same substance in its original form. So chemical changes are irreversible changes, they are permanent changes, new substance is obtained and we cannot bring it back, right? But in case of physical changes, they are not a permanent change, they can be brought back. And then, for example, if you take a drying of your clothes, is an example of a physical change. After it is wet, you just lay it out, and after some time, that is after 2 3 hours, you will get that it is the cloth is dried. Again you wear it. Next time when again it gets dirty, again clean it and keep it outside for drying. So these changes, here we can get the original product, whereas in case of chemical changes, we cannot get. For example, all of physical changes is clay molding. So clay molding is one of the changes where you are taking the clay and giving it a different shape. You are giving it a shape of flower, of anything which you are interested. So those changes are reversible, whereas they can be obtained in its original form. After the making of or molding of a clay is over, you can get the clay in its original form. So these changes are considered as a physical change. So the children, you must know that what is physical change and what is chemical change. So I'm going to show you some of the activities to differentiate between physical change and chemical change. Okay, children. So I'm going to show you some of the examples of physical changes here. You just see this paper. If I tear it into two pieces, I'm not going to get any new substance. The same paper is there, but this can be reversed to a certain extent if I use a sellotape to it. So this is a physical. But what will happen if I burn this piece of paper? I will not be able to get a same paper again. So this paper, once it is burned, it gets converted into ash and releases carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So we cannot get it back. Same thing happens when the burning of wood takes place, where it produces dip, smoke as well as substances like ash, which can not be brought back. So burning of a wood is also a irreversible chemical change because we cannot get back wood from smoke and ash. So same thing happens when you are this activity, burning of paper, you can see it at your home, but you should be careful when you are doing this activity. Then the rusting of iron, you might have seen crores of money is lost. You can say several thousand crores of money is lost every year due to this rusting of bridges, rusting of railway railings. Then you can get building materials, they get rusted. Why? What happens in case of a rusting? Brown powdery substance, that is ferrous oxide, is formed, which weakens the iron, right? Which weakens the iron. As a result, there is a possibility that the building may fall down, bridge may fall down. So every year the government of India is wasting lot of amount due to this reason. So this rusting is also a chemical change. When the iron comes in contact with moisture and humidity, moisture and oxygen, the iron gets rusted. So here, not only big buildings where they have used a lot of steels, bridges, even our household things also, if they are kept as it is for nail, for example nails, if you keep it outside for some time, that is for 1 to 2 weeks, you will find that a brown powdery substance is formed on the surface of it, and which loses the strength, which makes the nail to lose its strength. So this change is also a chemical change. Another one activity you can observe, that is burning of a magnesium ribbon. When the magnesium ribbon is burned in presence of oxygen, it results into the formation of magnesium, it results into formation of magnesium oxide, okay, which gives a dazzling light, or you can say bright light. Bright light is given, and at the end you will get a black residue, which is nothing but it is a form magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide, black residue is obtained when magnesium ribbon is burned in presence of oxygen. Then another example of a chemical change is souring of milk. Milk is a sweet liquid, whereas curd, when it is sour, curd is a sour in taste and is a semi-solid. So, souring of milk is an irreversible change. We cannot get back milk from curd. That is, once the curd is formed, we cannot get it back milk. So, this is also a irreversible chemical change. Though there are certain bacteria which we can say that which are converting this milk into curd. So we can say lactobacillus bacilli is the bacteria. Lactobacillus bacteria converts the liquid milk into a curd, which may be sometimes semi-solid or it may be liquid in a liquid state. So this is also a example of a chemical change which we cannot reverse it back. So one phenomena where we can say that both the changes are taking place is your burning of candle. Now when we see this burning of candle, the melting phenomenon, that is the melting of candle, is a physical change. Melting of candle is physical, because after some times, once the melt candle is melted, the material which is available at the bottom can be used to make candle once again. But at the same time, when the candle is burning, the burning produces carbon dioxide and moisture, which disappears in the atmosphere. That is, they cannot be brought back. So that forms a irreversible chemical change, and we cannot obtain it once again, those carbon dioxide and moistures which are produced due to the burning of candle. So we can say that the burning of candle comes under both the changes, that is under physical change as well as under chemical change. Now, other examples of physical and chemical changes, we can say that the growth of a human being, unless there are certain chemical reactions, we cannot increase in our size. That is, the growth of the individual may not take place. That, so we can say that individuals growing also result into the formation of involvement of physical change as well as chemical change. Now, other example of chemical change is cooking of food, right? When the food is cooked, many complex carbohydrates are broken down into simpler sugars. Many water soluble and fat soluble vitamins are destroyed during this one, and the texture of the food stuff changes, which cannot be reversed. So we can say that the texture, when we are cooking a food, that time also a chemical changes takes place. So next topic is that we are going to discuss about the changes in physical state as well as in chemical changes. Difference between physical and chemical changes. So I'm going to discuss about this thing, differences between physical and chemical change, right? So first I'm going to write about the physical change, here chemical change. So children, in case of physical change, first point is that the substances substances do not lose their property, means only physical state is changed, only physical state is changed, right? Second, here we can say that no new substance is formed, no new substance no new substance is formed in case of physical change. Then we have got the original substance does not lose its identity, that is, the the original original substance does not lose its does not lose its identity. What is the meaning of this? That is, if I am tearing a paper, the two parts which I obtain, they will be also a paper only. So we can say that the original identity of the substance is not, that is, their molecular composition remains same. That is, the molecular composition, we can say that the molecular composition composition of the substance of the substance remains unchanged, remains unchanged. So we can say that the though new substance is not obtained, the same molecular content is present in case of the two pieces of the paper, or two pieces of the chalk piece, or you can say two pieces of glass. If the glass is broken into two pieces, we are more than two pieces, all the pieces will remain having the same composition of molecules in it. This change is temporary, and in many cases the original state is obtained or restored. This change is fourth one. The change is temporary, temporary, and most of the cases the original state is restored. Whereas when we talk about the chemical changes, in case of chemical changes, first property, both physical and chemical composition, you can say chemical composition or chemical properties changes, changes in case of chemical changes. Second one is that the original substance loses its chemical identity during the change. The original substance loses its identity during the change, so we can say that in case of a chemical change, the new substance is obtained. So we can say here the molecular composition of the substance, the molecular molecular composition of the composition molecular composition of the substance molecular composition of the substance changes during chemical change. So we can see the difference between the physical and the chemical change, that in case of a physical, molecular composition does not change, whereas in case of the chemical changes, molecular composition changes. So third point in this is that new substance new substance is formed. You can say that new substance is obtained, or we get a new substance. And the fourth is the change is permanent. The change is permanent. The change is permanent. That is, original state cannot be restored. Example for this is that burning of paper, whereas in case of physical changes we get the example of changing of water into ice. So this completes the one part of the chapter. Now I am going to tell you that the change that depends upon the nature and the intensity of the interaction. Change depends upon the nature and intensity of interaction. What is the meaning of this? See children, you take two glass, okay, pour water in it. In one glass add sugar, in another glass add sugar. In both the cases you have to add sugar. In one glass, just stir that sugar, you will see that the mixing of the sugar in water is faster as the interaction of the molecule, as the interaction of the sugar molecule with the water is increased or they are rapidly stirred. So in one case you will find that the where we have not touched, we have not disturbed that glass, only we have added sugar, you will find that the crystals of the sugar remains at the bottom, whereas in case of the other where we are stirring, they in that glass the sugar crystals will disappear, they will get dissolved in water, indicating that the rate of reaction or intensity of the interaction in if the intensity is faster, the changes take place faster. If the intensity is slow or we are not interacting them or we are not disturbing them, then the change will take long time, or you can say it takes more time to take place, right? So let us talk about the worksheet which is given on the page number 30. So first one, complete the following sentence as per instruction. First one, you will see that the glass is broken and you will see that classify the above change as desirable or undesirable. The change is undesirable because nobody wants to break their glasswares. So it is undesirable change. Now classify, second one, classify the above change as reversible or irreversible. You can say that if the ice is converted into water, it is reversible change. We can again, by freezing the water, we can get ice cubes once again. Now iron being rusted, if you see the third question, classify the above change as physical or chemical change. So as I said that rusting of iron is a chemical change where we cannot reverse, we cannot get a iron in its original form back. So once the rusting takes place, iron loses its strength and becomes weakened. Now see, fourth question, classify the above change as periodic or non-periodic. Here they have shown the diagram of day and night. So day and night, they are taking place at a regular interval of time, so they are periodic changes. Fill in the blanks. On page number 31, changes which take place by nature are known as natural changes. Second one, changes which are harmful to us are known as undesirable changes. Undesirable changes like earthquake, right, tsunami, flood, cyclone, they, we don't want them to take place, or we don't want them to occur repeatedly or continuously. So those changes which bring disaster to our human being, they are called as undesirable changes. We don't want them to take place. Third question, changes which take longer duration of time for completion are called as slow changes. Magnetizing of an iron nail is a physical change because after some time the magnetic property of the iron is lost, so we get again iron, so we can say that it is a physical change. New substances are formed during a dash change, it is during a chemical change we get a new substance. Now look at the diagram here, a b c. Now we have to see the diagram where some substance is given, one funnel, petri, this China dish, funnel is poured, and then cotton plug is used. So we can see that name the substance A, B, and C. So A is sublimating substance, B is your sand, C is the violet color flame, violet color, that is the substance which has got sublimized. Its fumes are formed at the C point, right? So in order, what is the color of the vapor formed? You will see that it forms a violet color vapor if you are taking ammonium chloride, right? Name the process which is shown. The process is sublimation. Define the above stated process. The process is defined as the conversion of a solid substance into gaseous state without being getting converted into a liquid state. So one step is jumped, that is from solid to gas. They obtain solid to gas state. That's why it is sublimation. Name any other substances which also show such phenomena. Other substances are your naphthalene ball, camphor, then your odonil, and air fresheners which are used in houses as well as in cars, they directly get converted from solid to vapor state without being getting converted into liquid state. So at this juncture, right, so children, you can take down the homework for the day, right? Classify following things into chemical change and physical change. Chemical change, chemical change and physical change. Physical change. Yes. Okay. First one, burning of paper. Burning of paper. First. Second, burning of candle. Candle. Third one, tearing of paper. Tearing of paper. Fourth one, you can say breaking of wood chair into several parts. Last one, you can take down that magnetizing iron nails. So you have to just classify them with which phenomena is occurring under physical change and which phenomena is occurring under chemical change. That's all for the day. Thank you, children.